All right, I just realized that the entire video I've posted, or the entire video I've recorded, there's been no audio. That's like the fourth time I've done that. So that's kind of frustrating. But anyways, to recap and to kind of skip the car talk a little bit, I just wanted to say that today marks the official end of an off season, and I'm very excited. As of today, we have a coach. We didn't have a coach for about a week, but now I've got a coach. We're on a new program. I'm excited to see what we do. So without further ado, here is a top set with no audio, and I'm just not going to include any of the other clips because, you know, there's nothing to it. But we hit 363 pounds for 3 reps at RPE 6, moving really good, feeling really good. Pause bench. So let's go ahead and hit our back downs, and we'll go from there. And I'll probably do like a car talk at the end of this just to make up for it. Audio check, okay, we got audio. All right, we got back down, 275 for a set of 8. Paused. Whoa. All right, we got 2 more of those. We're on to accessories. We got dumbbell bench press. We're gonna do 80 for 15 reps. We're gonna hope it's an RPE 7. I just did 85 for 15, and I feel like it was a little bit above RPE, so we're gonna remedy that right now. Ooh. Ooh. Fuck, man. It's like it's moving easy, but I just get to the point where it's like burning, man. That was a good set. That was a good set. That was about equally as difficult as the other one, but all right, we got 1 more of these off, so we got 3 total. I'm recording my second set to everything. My first one's going to the new coach, and after this we got preacher curls and dumbbell skull crusher. So let's go hit it. Whew, a little nervous, but we'll see how this goes. We're doing 50 pounds on bicep, just because these 15 reps are humbling, man. I went a little too overzealous on chest, so we're gonna learn from that. Come on, man, there we go. That's about actually where we needed. I'm glad that I didn't go overzealous on that. I think 60s I could have done, but because this is 50, I think 60 I could have done, but it would just been stretching a little bit. So that's about what we need. We got 2 more sets of that, and then we got some skull crushers and rear delt flies, and then we'll be out of here. That'll be this is the fattest chest pump I've had in a minute, but I like the workout. I'm looking forward to seeing what we can build. All right, we get a bit of a break on this one. We've been doing 15 reps and everything. On this, we only gotta do 12, and we got 2 sets instead of 3. So let's break out that 100, make these look good. All right, we got a little bit of a surprise for you. We're gonna try some, I haven't done these in a while, rear delt flies. Oh. Damn, it's not hard, but it's not easy either. It's like hard to hold at the top, so we gotta work on that. And just like that, that is once again another successful workout, and the first workout done as a member of Team, Flex. I'm with, yeah, I mean, I don't even know what to call the team. I have to look, like I said, it's my first day, but we're part of like the Joey Flex powerlifting group. Right now I'm getting coached by his brother Chris, and man, I gotta say, day 1 of training, I'm excited to see what we build. In 6 months we're gonna be a different person. Anyway, I'll catch you in a brief car talk after this, and then after that I'll catch you tomorrow. We gotta go get some grub. Hello and welcome to another beautiful day. Hello and welcome to another video. It's another beautiful day to lift, and it's a beautiful day to be a power lifter in general. Today's car talk's a little interesting. It's a little weird because I already did the workout. I recorded the car talk already, but the audio cut out, and honestly I wasn't going to do a car talk. I might even just put this at the end, but I wasn't going to do it in general until, I've had a lot of stuff happen, a lot of realizations, and so I just wanted to kind of talk about that. One, I wanted to say that, I had a coach. I didn't have a coach for about a week, and now I have a new coach. And I'm excited because, I'm on arguably the best powerlifting team that there is with the Joey Flex team. I'm being coached personally by his brother Chris. And honestly, after doing the intake process, like, I thought it was gonna be one of those things where I was gonna feel out a couple coaches, talk to a couple people, but they crossed off enough of my boxes that, hey, let's just get started. I told you guys we are locked in for October, and we are, I'm ready to podium in October. I'm ready to work on doing what I can to be the face of Tennessee powerlifting. And I say that to say that, at this point, everything that I have as goals and everything that I want to do, like, I can say this to you, but it's all words. And so part of the reason why the videos that I do are the way they are is, I'm telling you the things I want to do, and then we're putting in the work. I'm going to tell you just so you guys have that vision so that I can show you afterwards. That's kind of how I operate. And so I don't want to come off like I'm not humble. I don't want to come off like I'm better than anybody. Like I'm not. The thing is, it's not better than anybody. Again, like I want to be a professional athlete, and this is a way for me to scratch that itch. And so I'm just excited to, you know, lock in even further and take this even further and just see what I'm capable of and be the best athlete that I can be. You know, I'm not better or worse than anybody specifically. The only time I'm better or worse than anybody is when we get to meet day and we're on the platform, you know, but everybody's journey is different. You know, I could compare myself to other people, but guess what? That person might have a knee injury. That person might not be a competitive powerlifter. That person might have had just gotten in a car accident, or might have had a baby, or you know, might be a bodybuilder and a prep, or, you know, whatever else. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, again, like what somebody lifts versus what I lift on a given day does not matter. Even on a meet day, right? Just because somebody hits, you know, 600 pounds on a meet one day doesn't guarantee they're going to hit that the next day. Obviously, as a powerlifter, you hope that you're going to progress, but progress isn't always linear, and it just depends on what's happening. It just depends on the situation. One day somebody might compete at 110, another day they might be at 120. And so it's just one of those things where with powerlifting, lifting weights, it's simple, it's not easy. You know, lifting heavy weights, but then you get into a powerlifting prep and you get into stuff like that, and that's where it gets individualized, that's where it gets a little bit more complicated, and that's where having a good coach is going to come in handy. And so, you know, I have love for my old coach and my old team. I feel like at the end of the day, I outgrew them, and the mindset, the attitude, like, it's just, I'm not going to be a world champion. I'm not going to be a national champion, you know, powerlifter. I'm not going to go and ball out at regional championships, being around that atmosphere and that environment. Like, again, it is fine that they're not serious about powerlifting. It's fine that they're doing it for fun. I just want to be part of a team that, you know, it's serious, that the stakes are high. I want to be part of a team that has that mindset, that attitude. You know, iron sharpens iron. And I don't want to be sharpening my iron against aluminum, if that makes sense. And again, that doesn't take away, I hope everybody hits their goals. I hope they all do amazing. I have no ill will, but it's nice to go from, you know, a big fish in a small pond to a small fish in the ocean now. And so I think that's going to be best for me in my career, honestly. I think that in a year I'm going to be doing one of these episodes, I'm going to look back and be like, holy cow, I'm a totally different person. And there's a lot of things I want to hit within a certain amount of time, but I don't even want to put a time frame on things anymore, just because I don't know. I might be undercutting myself, or I might not be being fair to myself. I used to go, I want to squat 600 in a set amount of time, or I want to do this in a set amount of time. But the truth is, now what I realize is there's, you know, today is the first day where I'm not in off season. You know, we got like 4.5 months roughly of programming that we're able to do before October's meet. And so, no, it's just crazy to think about that. Like, yeah, you know, if I was on the all gas, no brakes for, you know, these 4 or 5 months or whatever, my squat or my deadlift or my bench should be at a certain point. But it also depends, like, are we cutting or not? Say if I want to squat 700 pounds in a year, it's just going to depend on what that year looks like. You know, are we going to do an off season over the year or not? Are we going to cut or not? Are we going to, you know, like, so there's so many factors. Like, what I will say is 700 will fall. I just don't know when it's going to fall. And 500 on bench is going to fall. I'm just not sure when. Deadlift. And so it's like one of those things where you address some of the things that you got to work on, you know. No matter what you have, numbers wise, there's always going to be some sort of weakness to address. There's always going to be some sort of weak spot, and that's the journey of powerlifting and being in the gym in general. Anybody in the gym, you're under construction. Work in progress. No matter who you are, no matter what you do, work in progress. Whether you're an Olympic athlete or whether you're just, you know, some bodybuilder that watches Sam Solik that's just kind of like, hey, I do this for fun. No biggie. But you know, my coach and I had a good conversation about how he wants athletes that are hungry. He doesn't care what they lift. He just wants people that are dedicated to being the best athlete that they can be. And you know, now after doing that first workout, like, my programming before was good. The program I had was good. I made a lot of progress, but I gotta say, after day 1 of week 1 on this program, there's a few differences which I'm not going to get too into it, but you know, on my program, there's always numbers to hit. Like, it's always like, my coach usually puts a set number. I know that I'm going to go into somewhere and hit 520 on squat or whatever, right? Or he'll have a range. On this, there's no number. It's just, hey, you know, you have a top set of 3 reps. We want you to hit it in RPE 6. And I don't know if that's going to change. I don't know if that's just because he wants to see where I'm at, how things move, and, you know, we're taking a couple weeks to get to know each other before we start doing that, or I don't know if that's just how it's going to be. You know, if he's going to give me the responsibility and let me call whatever I want to call and then see how it moves, like, that's going to be a new experience for me. I mean, that's kind of what I was doing with my programming before, but that's different. Also, in week 1 and 2 on my old program, we would do a top set and 2 back downs and then 2 accessory movements, you know, or like 2 sets on every accessory, 2 sets on our other movements. So it was just like, for example, on bench or on squat, I hit 520 for a single, and then I hit 2 back down sets after that with 80% of 520, which ended up being like 418 roughly. And then everything else I did was 2 sets. Week 1, day 1, it was a top set of, you know, 3 reps, and then it was 3 back downs of 8 reps. So it's like an extra set there, so extra volume. And then each, I think all movements, all accessories I had but one were, you know, 15 reps for 3 sets. So that's new as well. Just that extra volume that really gets me going. And I gotta say, like, I have the biggest chest pump that I've had in as long as I can remember. It's actually insane. And so it's just nice to see, like, you know, I talked to my coach and he said he wants me to be a machine. He wants me to get there and he's like, hey, I want you to lean into the monotonous, and I want you to enjoy the consistency, and I want you to lean in, and it's just like day 1, day 2, 1 day at a time. You know, don't get too ahead of yourself. Don't be looking too far into the future. You know, look at today, what today holds, and go make it happen. And so my old program, I used to start with squat. We're starting with bench now. We got low bar squat tomorrow, and then I think deadlift the next day, and I think we got squat and bench tomorrow, I think. But I don't know, man, it's just, it's I feel a different level of locked in just on this programming alone. And now just the way we're talking about diet, the way we're talking about things, and the way we're breaking it down is just, I like it a hell of a lot more, man. Like, we're dedicated to losing 6 pounds over the next 6 weeks, get me where I need to be weight-wise for a comp, and then July we'll do a bench comp at 110, and then we're going to make the decision, like, are we going to compete at 220 pounds? Or we're going to compete at 240 pounds come October, and what can we put up? So this car talk went a lot longer than I wanted to, but there's just a lot of food for thought, a lot to kind of consider, a lot to think about on my end and stuff like that. And I'm just, man, I'm going to say this, 3 to 6 months, I'm going to be a different person. I'm going to be like physically, mentally, spiritually, you know. I have a realization that, like, and I mean, I knew this, but it was just a reminder that everything in my life, you know, and yours too, but everything in life that you like, that you don't like, all the things that are good, all the things that are bad, they're all your fault. And I say that, like, I know someone's gonna be like, I got in a car accident, somebody hit me, that's my fault. If you wouldn't have been driving that vehicle at that exact time in the exact space that you were, you would not have gotten in that accident. So yes, you put yourself in that situation. I'm not saying that you deserve it. I'm not saying anything like that, but the more you take responsibility for things, I know it sounds crazy, but if it is your fault, well, guess what? You can control that. You can change that. You can avoid that. You can make something happen. You know, I get that things happen to people, but if you take extreme accountability and extreme ownership, you know, what would you rather have? Would you rather have a life that everything happens to you and there's nothing you can do and things just suck? Or would you rather be like, wow, you know, things have gotten out of hand and I've let it get out of hand, and yeah, things suck right now, but I'm able to take control, take charge, and make it different, right? Which narrative would you rather have? Oh, things suck and I just have to deal with it, or things suck and I'm not gonna deal with it? Because right now, that's where I'm at. I'm like, man, I'm not going to bed as early as I want to. All right, bam, work in progress. Let's change it. Man, I'm eating too much in the evenings and it's putting me over my calories. Bam, we're gonna change it. We don't like how much we weigh on the scale. All right, let's start chipping away. We don't like that we're not lifting as much as we want to lift. Guess what? We're changing that. You know, 1 set, 1 rep, 1 workout, 1 block at a time, man. Anyways, with that being said, I'll see you guys tomorrow, or I'll see you at the workout. I don't know where I'm gonna put this at, but I just felt like I felt called to say that. And yeah, take care. I'll see you tomorrow for another beautiful day.